the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius when flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country boy.
Hey everybody, this is Jon Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly, and we're back with episode 3 with Harry about the FayPenn scandal, what's going on. But let's get started with this. I'll tell you what, Charity Grim Group has stepped up and said enough, and I'm standing here with her. And we, the people, are asking the questions the elites can't stand. Where are the rest of our so-called leaders, and why are they so quiet? While NDAs, sweetheart deals, and land grab pile up on the backs of the taxpayer. The Bible says, for nothing is secret that shall be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And that's the banner over this broadcast today. This isn't a one-week outrage. It's a march for the truth. Every time they hide behind lawyers and no comment, we're going to answer with another document, another question, another spotlight on where the money went and who profited. We are not after revenge. We are after a reckoning, a holy public, no stone unturned reckoning. Do I need to say that again? A holy public, no stone unturned reckoning. And as long as I, Jon Marietta, have a mic in my hand, this pulpit will stay hot. This truth will stay loud. And no NDA in this county is going to shut we the people up. Harry, I thank you for coming in again today. I really appreciate it. We got through the weekend and now we're back at it again. But I want to thank you for stopping in again today.
My pleasure.
And today I want to talk about transparency, Harry.
Well, transparency, if you can't see the tree, how are you going to judge the fruit?
So what I want to say here now is I want everybody to think about this. The mob has a certain way.
John, the mob, but the politicians have a more sophisticated, they and FayPenn have a more sophisticated way of hiding the truth. They've created an invisible government and used non-disclosure agreements to keep quiet. That way they can shadow everything and keep it away from the public what's really going on. That's the problem right now, this invisible government.
One thing that was a red flag to me, when I was first elected, I was invited to one of their meetings, as I think, all the local officials are. And the executive director approached me and asked me to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
What?
And I immediately declined. And I said, was only invited here because I am an elected official. I am not going to sign an agreement that would obligate me to be silent about what I hear
is
here.
That common?
I got caught red-handed with my hand in the cookie jar. My appetite for sweets got my baby leaving me. I got caught red-handed with my hand in the cookie jar. I had the sugar.
To me, I think that's unethical. If it's not unethical in the letter of the law, it should be.
Before you go, I will commend you again for not signing the non-disclosure agreement, because essentially what that means is you'd be wearing two hats.
We got to get back to that. They're trying to wear two hats, Harry. It's an invisible government that they've created here with this FayPenn.
All right, well, just take like Pat Stefano, since he's been on the board. Imagine they did disclose over $22 million of contracts and grants and loans. The insiders, imagine if that's what they disclosed. Imagine what they haven't disclosed. That scares you.
Well, I want everybody to understand documentation for all this is going to be up on MariettaBroadcastingNetwork.com/FayPenn and also on CochranForSenate.com/FayPenn. We're not making this up. We got the documentation and we're putting it out there for everybody. And with these agreements, these non-disclosure agreements, it's like you said, but I'm going to put it in a little bit of different language. These agreements cover financial planning,
Right.
they cover development decisions, and they cover negotiations, and that's a key one, the negotiations. Go ahead, Eric.
Absolutely. The details right there.
And these are public officials. They were elected,
And they're silenced.
and they're agreeing to be silent about where the money's going,
Right.
that they're flowing into FayPenn.
Right. Which is an invisible government.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? Our old pal, Sean Kavanaugh, called this an invisible government years and years ago.
He was way ahead of his time.
He was.
Yep.
And now we're exposing a lot of this. And we don't want the public to be left in the dark.
We don't.
And what's even more concerning, all this is going on, and there's another layer to this that I feel that needs to be exposed. One thing that people don't realize is the Fayette County Republican Committee is meeting at the FayPenn building.
Yeah, if that's not collusion, I don't know what is. Right in their headquarters is where the Republican Central Committee meets. Before, they used to be down in the other South Collinsville Fire Hall where it was free and open. But what kind of influence does FayPenn actually have with the Republican Central Committee? It scares you. Not right.
So they're renting a space off of FayPenn, and it's just like you said, it's a thought that a lot of people haven't thought about. How come? Why are they doing this? And I mean, there's a lot of places they could have a meeting, but so why there? The real serious question, Harry, is that needs to be asked: is FayPenn involved in any development at all, or are they?
That's why we needed the Attorney General in here. We can talk about it all day. We don't have the authority to go and open the books. They do. They can disclose everything. I wish he'd come in here, General Sunday.
So maybe we need to pass the hat out to get him a motel
I
room.
think he's a reasonable man. I think if enough people would contact him, it shows support. It's just for his efforts, and I think he consider it.
Harry, we keep going back to the tree over and over again.
Right.
So it's time to it's time to remove the bad tree from the orchard.
If I win this, I'm going to help do it.
And
guarantee you that.
And like I said, going into we need to get better county leaders, better elected officials that are willing to be more.
Next year, let's get through this one. I'm going to help the county get some new officials. The county commissioner's office at least.
And one of the things that I do want to say, Harry, that you've over the time that I've known you, you've said this: transparency builds trust,
right,
and secrecy breaks it.
That's right.
You told me that more than once.
Right. Efficient. Right.
So let's connect everything together. And a lot of people were thinking like, well, we need to maybe go into more detail, but look, we can go into more detail as time goes on, and we can cover a lot of things. But these 990s are going to be exposed on the website, MariettaBroadcastingNetwork.com/FayPenn and CochranForSenate.com.
I'm pleased these are going to be exposed to the public so they can read it. So they know we're just not talking.
So what I want to tell everybody is you can also get these documents. You can get this documentation also on ProPublica. I mean, the envelope was dropped at my doorstep, and I mean, I had to trip over it. I go to the courthouse, and there's something laying on my desk. It had to be somebody that was in the courthouse after I left or after my girls left, because they didn't know nothing about it. So it was there. So I'm thinking about this.
Sounds like somebody in the insider gave you some information.
Well, at least they want me to look into it as much as I can. So let's connect everything that we've done, Harry. We've done several shows now. We're going to do a couple more, I know, because it's a different type of election than we've ever seen.
The only way we're going to correct this is through the ballot politics. You have to do it.
Well, I think it's going to be God and
God's a big part of it, but I mean, the people have to go out here and change it politically.
Yeah.
And I think that, I do think the hand of God will have a hand in it. I really do. These are God's children that are being robbed.
So let's circle back around for one last time here, I think. I mean, there's other things I'm going to say here, but this is one of the things I want everybody to understand, and you can make a comment after I say this. The county's in decline. FayPenn continues to grow. Insider patterns are appearing over and over again. We got public officials signing NDAs. Scott Dunn and Vince Facilities signed an NDA, and that's wrong. And now we even got the local Republican Party having meetings at FayPenn, and I mean, we got to think about all this.
And the Republican Party one time was free. Anyone could go to a meeting with Michelle Mowry and great, had input, free to go. All these rules and controls are on that too. It's ridiculous. They're doing people around for committee people. It's control. They don't want the people to see anything within the party.
Well, I agree with you 100%. If you have a final message here, or at the end of the day type of message, tell us what do you want to say about all this, Harry?
We need help. I want to lead that. And grace of God and the people believing in what presenting to them and they want change, this is the time to do it. If they don't change it now, I don't know when you're going to do it or how you're going to do it. That's one more year, it's going to be too late.
Well, yeah, we're in the time of Trump. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he keeps on keeping on. Yep. And he's like the little Energizer bunny that never runs out of batteries. I mean, you go to bed at midnight and he's doing one thing, and the next morning he's off somewhere else negotiating a deal. But the thing of it, I want to tell everybody, we need a call to action for all of this, and it has to be important. We are, you and I, and some other folks. We got some attorneys on our side. We got couple different accountants looking at things. We're gonna turn this information over to the district attorney, the DOJ. We're going to turn it over to any news media that wants it, because this needs to be exposed. But the call to action has to be this. The people need to get it on the phone, and we're going to put up in the same places that we're putting all the rest of the documentation. We're going to put up how you can contact these folks, how you can get to these folks. There's so much going on right now in Fayette County that needs to be exposed. And we're going to go into other things in the next few days, but the call to action has to be, you have to call your state representative, Charity Grimm, let her know you're on her side. Right. We need to get to our sitting federal senators. We need to get to the congressman. We need to do that.
FBI.
If you know anything and you want to put anything out there, yeah, call the FBI. And please, we're going to put all this information up. 10 calls makes a difference. 100 calls is going to get things done.
People are the sovereign. General George Washington was trying to break away from the British. Less than 2% of the people supported Washington. Look what he did. He did the British Redcoats and George's entire army. Got free. Imagine what we do if we had over 2%. What we could do in Fayette County. They come out here and really support it. Yep. And I often think about this, and I've said this many times on my show. The first major battle that was ever won in the Revolutionary War was at Kings Mountain, and people laugh at me, and they make fun of me because I stumble over words. But that particular fight, the mountain men that was willing to cross the mountain to fight. Right. Exactly. You have to remember that these guys weren't afraid. Don't forget, even after we became a state, Pennsylvania, they had these grants for the farms. And if a man would cross the Appalachian Mountains to get out here, lay on a piece of land, lay claim to it, and work for 10 years, he get a free deed, free and clear. Get the people to come to the west because mountains were full of Indians, and they would scalp the white men as they come over the mountains. So to encourage them to come, they offered the free land because Carlisle, Pennsylvania, was far west then.
Think about that. Yes.
Yeah. To get them here, they had to put that incentive in there to get the people over here.
Yep.
And at one time, I know there's an old story that when I was in Harrisburg, as a legislator, they told it how that if a white man scalped an Indian, and he'd take the scalp to Harrisburg when the legislature was in session and go to the sergeant of arms when the legislature was in session. The sergeant of arms would step into the house and announce himself to the speaker and tell him to halt proceedings. They'd escort that gentleman to the speaker's podium, and the House would give him a standing ovation. The speaker would reach in his pocket and give him a $2 bill, and he'd be declared the citizen of the day in the Commonwealth. So that was a big deal to get people over the Appalachian Mountains. You're absolutely right about Kings Mountain.
But like I said, it was the people that were willing to walk all night long, people that are willing to step up and walk all night long to get this done, because there's nobody coming to our aid.
They're going to have a chance to do it on May the 19th. Election for the state senate. I ask for help.
Well, the
God willing, I will.
We're going to do everything we possibly can. Fayette County deserves openness. It deserves fairness, and it deserves leadership that works for the people instead of themselves. We're tired of putting people. It's time we put people in office that are willing to work for the people, not work just to get reelected.
Oh, yes.
So, Harry, I really appreciate you doing all this with us. It's
thanks for having me in, Joe.
And we're going to have you back on a couple more times. We're going to. I definitely want to get one. I want to get a remote done with you down at the river before when the weather gets just a little bit warmer. I really appreciate everything you're doing. I know it's been a tough 10 days, 12 days, and we worked hard. And I am so glad that you're on the ballot.
All right, one over wrong. That's all.
Okay, I'm going to close up my show like I always do. On this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad, smile with the sad, love what you got, remember what you had. Always forgive and never forget. People change, things go wrong, but just remember, ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you.